Deadly storms moving through the Northeast as dangerously high temperatures take over the West Coast. Las Vegas breaking records with temperatures soaring above 115 degrees as nearly 700,000 people are still without power in Houston days after Hurricane Beryl slammed the area. While across the country, remnants of the same storm dropping as much as a half a foot of rain in Vermont. News Nation's Alicia Nieves is here with us with more. What a heartbreaking situation. What are you seeing on the East Coast?
Yeah, I mean, you came in this morning, right? You felt the downpour rain that we had here, and that's what we're seeing throughout the East Coast, dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl. Remember, this was a Category 5 storm at one point, hit the U.S. as a Category 1, and then a tropical storm that has weakened as it's made its way up here, again, to the East Coast. But that still has led to torrential rain, even extreme flooding in places like Vermont, for example. Here's a look at what they saw on Wednesday when people there started to see some of those outer bands of Beryl kind of come there. Looks like rivers and parts of the roads there hit with those intense downpours, again, about a half a foot of rain. We've seen at least 2 confirmed deaths related to the flooding there. And today, cleanup from all the mud, displaced vehicles, and even the damaged homes, that's still underway as rain continues to be in the forecast. Now, while Beryl, or at least the remnants of Beryl, are far from Texas, cleanup and recovery is still happening there, but happening as hundreds of thousands of people are without power and have been so for about a week now. At the start of this week, though, it was close to 3 million people in the dark. Now about 700,000 Texans still without power and dealing with no power, as we're also dealing with extreme heat across the country, so they can't catch a break there. In total, across the country, 100 million people under a federal heat warning, more than 25 million of those people dealing with an excessive heat warning. That is where temperatures and conditions are life-threatening. Now, you can see on this map the highest temperatures of about 100 or 110 degrees. Those are currently in areas of the west and southwest. In cities like Las Vegas, as you mentioned, they have been dealing with 7 consecutive days of 115-degree weather. They're expected to break that record, so to speak, today with a cooler 110 to 113 degrees.
Wow, much cooler there.
Much cooler.
And CenterPoint Energy, which is the energy company in Texas, is getting a lot of flack right now for this.
A lot of flack, right? I mean, they still have, as we noted, 700,000 people who are dealing with not having heat right now. 80% of those customers likely, though, to have power by tomorrow, according to CenterPoint. That still leaves about 100,000 people, mostly around the Houston area, as you see on the map there, without power during this nationwide heat wave. We should note for people in Texas, there is some relief coming in the next 2 to 3 days. They should have some cooler temperatures, but that is because the extreme heat is going to be forecasted to push its way Midwest over here to the East Coast starting early next week. That means for us on the East Coast, you're looking at 110-degree temperatures, potentially our heat index in Philadelphia, the low 100s here in New York. That is 5 to 15 degrees higher than the historical average on the eastern coast. And that's going to start from tomorrow through Wednesday, which, I mean, if you think about it, especially for us here on the East Coast, that could be extremely dangerous. We have a lot of people who are not used to those temperatures. They don't have the infrastructure in their home, central AC or even window units, to be able to kind of sustain those temperatures. And then we live in a city, right, where there isn't easy access to pools or beaches. And so this is where it becomes dangerous.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.